Hey, what's happening, everyone? It is I, the man, the myth, the mustache, Tim here with a brand new video for you. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 7 of What If My Hero Academia Had a Suicide Squad? Hope you've been enjoying, so please sit back and relax because you are in for a treat. With that out of the way, let's get this story going, shall we? The warden made his way to an elevator just outside the admin section of Tartarus. Only certain rank-and-file guards could access this elevator, most of which never did, save Lady Nagant, the warden's current assistant. He scanned his badge and biometrics to open the elevator doors. Walking in, his massive frame took most of the elevator itself. With a scan of his eye, a button flipped up, leading to Sub-Basement 3. It had been 3 days since the Gigantomachia incident, and all of Tartarus had been hard at work. As the elevator dinged and opened its doors with a hiss, a cold fog danced around the warden's feet. With each step, the fog seemed to be dancing to some silent melody within the confines of the basement. "Warden, sir, what a pleasant surprise!" The warden greeted the head scientist working on his secret project. He just woke up and is really quite chatty.
"You cannot do this to me!"
The giant of a villain spoke, his voice echoing throughout the sub-basement.
"I am..."
"Nothing." The warden spoke as he coldly addressed the monster before him.
"I am a human being. I have rights."
Gigantomachia struggled to reach the warden by following his voice, but the restraints and quirk suppressors kept the giant at bay. "Tell me." The warden held his arms behind his back as he spoke, then leaned in towards Gigantomachia, whose hand was centimeters from his grasp. "Monster, what rights does a dead man hold?" Gigantomachia turned his head. The warden was now staring into the two dark abysses that were now where the giant's eyes used to be.
"Gigantomachia is not dead!"
The giant declared, roaring up to the ceiling. "Dead as a doornail, I'm afraid," the Lord of Tartarus said, then softly patted the giant's face. "As a matter of fact, your body took days to cremate." It was then that the warden slapped the giant, hard. Taken back for the briefest of moments, the behemoth felt it, but continued to roar and cry out.
"Am I in hell?"
Gigantomachia's voice was filled with doubt. Was he truly dead? "With your track record, you would think so, huh, Gigantomachia?" The ruler of Tartarus then gave a sinister chuckle. "However, right now you are in purgatory, but as such, I am your escort to your eternal servitude."
"Wait! I am not dead! You lie!"
The giant regained his senses. Well, the ones that still functioned, sans his sight. You caught me." At this point, the warden didn't care. Gigantomachia was dead as far as the outside world knew. "But you cannot stop me."
"Let me out of here! I have rights! This is an injustice!"
The Goliath's words only garnered laughter from the warden at the sheer hypocrisy. The warden was not going to even sully himself with a retort to his supposed injustice. "Fool, we've been burning bodies non-stop for 3 days," he proclaimed as he gestured wildly around the basement. Gigantomachia roared in vain as the warden then spun and danced to the same silent melody as the fog. The dimmed LED lights came on. The light revealed a highly advanced laboratory that was fully staffed with both doctors and scientists that were accredited and disgraced. "You see, Gigantomachia? Wait, no." With a slight pause, the true monster in all of this gave a slight cough. "That was a bit cruel of me. My apologies. As you can probably hear, you are going to be the first candidate in this new program."
"I am no one's experiment!"
The giant roared as he tried to break free of his bonds, but to no avail.
"I will..."
The warden slapped him again. Gigantomachia finally took notice of this. It was the second time the warden slapped him, and he felt them both. "No one is coming to grant you salvation. and no one can nor will hear your pleas. The warden then looked at his staff. He needs to be taught a lesson. Do not waste any anesthesia unless absolutely necessary. He can take it, can't you, big boy? Cruelly, the warden looked at his captive on the table. The Goliath was roaring in sheer agony as the staff went to work on him. Thankfully, or inhumanely, they injected him with a paralytic agent. Gigantomachia could scream and roar, but was powerless to do anything about it. With that, my dear Gigantomachia, welcome to hell. Welcome to Project Gigan. With the warden's closing words, electricity sparked and machines whirled. They mixed savagely with the cacophony of painful roars coming out of the villainous behemoth. The warden laughed with diabolical merriment and continued to spin, dancing to the symphony of his staff's cruel machinations. Hello, people of the internet. It is I, the warden, and I'm going to be taking over the mid-roll for this one. Even though I didn't want to, but somehow I'm here. Anyway, before we get back to the video, I want to talk about the channel's new channel, Celestia. Sounds weird to me. It's a channel dedicated to all things Dungeons and Dragons. So, nerd shit. Okay. Currently, they have a series breaking down the different spells in D&D, and soon they'll be starting some new series as well. I should hope so if they want to get more people. So if you're a fan of D&D or have an interest in learning about it, check it out. Additionally, if there's something you've always wanted to see get made into a video, I'm certain a certain warden wouldn't mind being made into a video for the channel, head over there and leave a comment mentioning it. Now, let's get back to more me, shall we? Hawks was looking at the welts all over his body in the mirror of his bathroom. Suddenly, antiseptic was applied, and he gave out a hiss through his smiling face. It hurts so good. Ara ara, my dear little bird. Her voice was sultry as she added a gentle kiss to each one of her administrations. Hey, yo, easy, easy. The nicknames are my thing, little sparrow. The number 2 hero was not a fool. He knew why she did what she did. Not that I'm complaining, but this was a subtle warning. At least he's not as dumb as Exless was. He also lasted longer, too. Keeping her thoughts in check, Nagant kept her poker face up. It is still a few hours before you have to head over to the briefing room. Come keep me company, hero. She took his hand and spirited him away. Hours of Flying Hawk, Hidden Assassin later, Hawk's files lay burnt on his coffee table when he awoke from his interesting and eventful night. If that warning wasn't enough, the dagger stabbed through the charred remains of the file with his crimson feather tied to the hilt nailed it home. Lady Nagant was gone, obviously, as Hawks cracked his neck and went to wash up. An hour later, Hawks got the call. He quickly put on his coat and headed to the briefing room. His team was already there, even Stain. Imagine that. The hero killer was off in a corner with his arms crossed, watching the room. The team greeted their commanding officer with a one-finger salute. They were bad company, after all, so Hawk saluted them back with the same finger. Hope you protected yourself, because I can still smell it from here. The hero killer waved his hand near his nose, as Hawks gave an uneasy cough. At least you match your wings now. At this, Hawk's eyes widened as Muscular then began to laugh like a madman to the confusion of the others. Hawks then turned beet red and pulled out the detonator. Do it! It's a great thought to leave this world on! Muscular then gave a thrusting motion. Suddenly, the others got it and looked away, blushing at the sudden realization. Pansies! It's why you'll never get some! Enough! The commander said as everyone but Muscular fixed themselves. Nomu? The Nomu dropped down from the ceiling and rose to its full height and slowly began to walk towards Muscular. Its chilling warble caught the pumped-up villain's attention. Hey! Muscular raised his hands. Easy! Just a little joshing never hurt anyone. At least you got some. Hawks then raised his hand and the Nomu stopped dead in its tracks, just staring at Muscular without blinking. It unnerved him, making it a suitable punishment for Muscular. It was then that the room was filled with laughter as the warden appeared on the monitor before them.
I see you're all well rested.
He then looked at Hawks.
Some more than others.
Indeed, Warden, Hawks said through gritted teeth. The warden just gave him a Cheshire grin. What do you have for us?
Well, Leader 1, since you so politely asked, a simple extraction mission.
A unified groaning was the corresponding reply.
Real simple. In and out, acquire the target, and bring her here.
At the word her, the warden had bad company's attention.
So our target is female?
Gentlecriminal raised a curious eyebrow.
Where are they located? Channel 6 News,
was the warden's response, as the others stood up with their eyes as wide as saucers.
She's one of their lead reporters.
Channel 6, the one with all the quirkless hate propaganda? The warden looked at Overhaul and nodded.
Thought you wanted to be all covert like Warden,
Overhaul said, with the last part being in a country accent.
Cute, Mr. Overhaul, but bad company is best suited for this, given Leader 1's status with the League of Villains.
Hawks then gritted his teeth at the warden's words.
Oh yes, Leader 1. My reach is vast and my knowledge is deep.
To most of the Japanese populace, Hawks was seen as a traitor to the Hero Public Safety Commission, and not in a good way, though Hawks' cover was still intact even with and after the Gigantomachia incident. For now, the LOV believed Hawks to be injured after a bout with Endeavor and was recovering. Well, that was the cover story the Commission sold to them. Now, the winged hero could focus his attention solely on and with the Warden, and of course, bad company. Hawks then got a ping on his mobile from the director.
Ah, shit,
he said, looking up at the monitor, then showed his text to his team. They all instantly gritted their teeth and looked back up at the Warden. It was a picture of a pale blue-skinned female with lilac-colored hair, green eyes with black sclera.
Kazuki Chitose, a.k.a.
Hawks was cut off by Overhaul, at which the winged hero turned to face him, slightly irked.
Codename Curious.
Overhaul was quite familiar with what they would be facing.
Rumored to be in league with the Meta Liberation Army, or the MLA for short.
During his time with the Shiei Hasaikai, Overhaul had crossed paths with the MLA and their radical ideals and fanaticism. As much as he wanted to end all quirks, they wanted the opposite, and to purge the world of the quirkless via various forms of genocide. The former crime boss had used them only to further his ends under a false flag of solidarity with their ideals. The MLA had provided their much-needed resources and manpower to manufacture his drugs. That was until their target, true to her codename, struck her curious nose where it did not belong. Curious got away via her quirk, Landmine. It allowed her to bestow explosive properties to anything she touched. Though not strong on its own, however, when used on multiple objects, it had been proven to be fatal in most cases. It had a few caveats, though. It drained her stamina and dampened her cognitive functions, slowing her reaction time and speed. During the hotshot reporter's escape, Overhaul was gravely wounded when he misstepped and was launched into a volley of her mines. Bouncing off the walls and the floor, the former crime boss was not given a single moment to use his quirk and restore himself. The explosions were done in succession to give her enough time to get away.
Oh, she's in league with them,
the warden confirmed as Hawks turned back to the monitor.
My sources confirm her to be their second in command.
That explains our involvement. Bloody donkey work, if you ask me, the proper villain said as he poured himself a second cup of tea. Gentlecriminal was hating every bit of this next mission. This truly was a suicide squad.
Be swift, be merciless, and bring that explosive witch here in one piece.
With that, the warden cut his feed, only to be replaced with their target's complete dossier. It then moved to the side as another dossier on the MLA popped up with everything they had on them. Orders given, Hawks gestured his team to the conference table to discuss strategy. The MLA was leagues ahead of the LOV in regards to tech, soldiers, and the public eye. They were branded as a highly fanatical organization, but were not considered terrorists. As such, they were no more regarded than that of the former Klan in America. Only, it was not race that drove their hate, but rather quirk superiority. The strong survived and are meant to rule to this new world. They were the New World Order. The quirkless were nothing more than the remnants of a bygone era, and as such should be torn down and cast into the fires to usher in the new age. Only then would peace be obtained, and only then would good, well, their view of it, truly triumph over evil. This was fanaticism left unchecked. The MLA integrated themselves like a cancer into Japan's infrastructure. Channel 6's news station had been bought and paid for by the MLA to spread their ideals, or rather hate, like a plague. Strategy meeting over, Bad Company exited to the garage below the prison. They loaded up in the Havoc. Its engines roared as its vents hissed, expelling cold air that steamed out. Shifting into gear, Bad Company was on the move again. And that's our video for the day, so thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, before I go, there's a little bit of housekeeping I want to go over with you all. First, I want to say, if you're in the mood for some more storytelling, please check out more of what We the Celestials has for you. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake animes with a twist. Check out more if you're interested. We also have Deep Dive, which tells extensive details and lore of various anime. Second, on behalf of We the Celestials, I also want to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Give some love to the writer, the audio editor, and the video editor because they do a lot of amazing work here. And finally, if you're interested in what we do here with the Celestials, then I want to extend an invitation to join our team. We only have one caveat: you must be 16 years or older to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. And that's it for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have an amazing day. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and stay awesome. This has been Tim, Mustache out.